dead. My bike's dead. Oh my goodness, the bike died.
Remember that bike that they gave me at first and it died before it even got out of the city? And it was so bad that they had to give me another bike? Well, that other bike, if you remember, didn't want to run the next day if it don't have to jump start me. And now, it's dying on me in high elevation. Anyways, we started that day in Manali.
We're here, packed, getting almost ready to go. What day are we?
I don't even know.
Fourth day? Are we on the fourth day? Yeah, I think so, on the fourth day.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, fourth day. We're gonna see how this goes, how the road is, and well, stay tuned.
It wasn't long after Manali that we got to the Alta Tunnel. The Alta Tunnel is the longest tunnel in the world. At 5.6 miles, it is nothing short of an engineering marvel. Even though going to the Alta Tunnel was a short ride, we gained a ton of elevation in that time. Now we're at 10,000 feet above sea level, and the scenery is now absolutely amazing. No more running in the forest in the back roads. This was what we came for. Shortly after the tunnel, we were met with a flock of sheep. And then more landslides.
Who's letting the motorbikes go? You right behind me? Nice.
And then we came to a dead stop.
Washed out? What's the deal? All the bikes came to the front.
We arrived just in time when they were unveiling a new bridge that they just finished building. There was tons of cars there and motorbikes. We waited for over an hour before we were let through. As soon as we passed the bridge, we realized it's already past lunchtime. Shortly after crossing the bridge, we found a place to eat. And this is kind of a critical junction in the story, because while we were eating, we noticed that there were tents for people to camp out behind the restaurant. And then along the valley as we were coming, we also noticed a bunch of motorcycles and camping locations for people to stay. But because it was 1 o'clock, we decided that we should go to the next available place for us to stop. It's way too early to stop at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That decision set off a chain of events that put us in a very precarious position. As we continue, we came up on our first passport checkpoint.
Yep. Passport!
After the checkpoint, the weather continues to be phenomenal and the scenery just keeps getting better. There's of course the occasional landslide road work where we rode through muddy pits and washouts, but nothing terrible. And then comes the inevitable.
It's dead. My bike's dead. So my bike died at 12,000 feet, and just took out the airbox, did a bunch of stuff. It's running a little better, but who knows if it's gonna keep running. We're gonna give it a try. We're having too much fun, so this is what happens.
No more than 10 minutes later, it stopped running.
Oh my goodness, the bike died.
This time, we're at 14,000 feet, and it's 3:30.
my heart rate actually increased significantly because of some of the passes. And of course, fiddling with the tank on and off the pass. 4,850 meters.
The location where the sign was not a very good stopping point, and the view wasn't very good, and you couldn't really tell where the peak was. So we ended up stopping later where there was prayer flags.
We had a bunch of mechanical mishaps that we have troubleshooted. We somehow made it to the top.
Because of my bike's issue, we didn't make nearly as much progress as we should. And now it's 4 o'clock. It's not late yet, but it's getting late. And Guy and Fadon are having headaches from altitude sickness, and they're not feeling too well. So we decided that we need to not linger at this summit too long and quickly get down and get to the first spot that we find with a much lower elevation. So we thought. Within 30 minutes, we made our way to Kalin Sarai.
Where's he going?
Go see those horses.
Ah. You guys all right?
We're good. I'm good, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is he okay?
What's that?
Is he okay?
He's going to look at horses.
Oh, okay.
All good. Yeah, he's feeling better. All good.
I drank something when we stopped. Yeah.
We arrived at Kalin Sarai and everybody's symptoms improved. We were around 2,000 feet less than we were at the summit, a couple hundred meters less, and things are looking good. I mean, we only went 30 minutes and we have came down significant in elevation, so there's only one thing left to do: keep going. As we continue forward looking for lower elevation, half an hour became 1 hour. 1 hour became 2. And as we continued to ride, the elevation not only did not go down, we started going back up. And soon, we found ourselves at another summit, the Kila Pass. We're now back up past 15,500 feet. And Ferran and Guy's elevation symptoms have returned. But what's even more problematic is now that it's 6:30, it's actually properly late, and the sun already set halfway down the mountain. So we're already seeing that we're losing sunlight, we're losing visibility. So we stopped immediately after Nakila Pass, and there is this small, I wouldn't call it a town, but there's people with tents there and they serve some food. Now we have contemplated of staying there, but given that people are already having significant elevation symptoms, we really want to make it down lower. So we asked the locals, if we go to the next town, which we look on the map was Pang, was it going to be lower in elevation in the next town? And they say, yes it is. It's going to be much lower than where we are. And it's only 20 kilometers away. So we say, well, even though the sun is setting and we know that riding is going to be problematic, we're going to give it a shot.
So we went over a pass and we got to 16 something, and then we didn't know that there was another pass at 16 something again, and we're literally stuck at 15,000 feet plus. And we've been at this for hours, and the sun is going down and we're kind of stuck, and we're trying to get to Pang, but it's not that easy to get to, and it's pretty dangerous. We got another mountain passes to cross over. Although it's only 20 kilometers, it's not going to be that easy to get over.
We didn't take very long before we got on our way, because we knew the sun was going down. But the second we got on our bike and we started riding, the sun was completely out. We were in complete pitch black darkness on one side of the mountain, and we were snaking up to the other side of the mountain. There were so many trucks, big trucks, going both directions on this road in pitch black darkness. And because the light reflects off of the dust from our bikes, we barely have any visibility. But if you turn the light off, you couldn't even see anything in front of you. So we had to keep the light on to have some visibility, but we couldn't see like 3-4 meters in front of us. Like, it was so difficult to see anything. I'm surprised we didn't just crash and fall off the side of the cliff. What's even more amazing is that along the way, there is another pass, Lechungla Pass, which is over 5,000 meters and over 16,000 feet, that we completely did not see because we couldn't see anything. And after 2 grueling hours, we finally survived the trip. All 6 of us, the 4 of us and the 2 friends that we met on the road. And we got the Pang.
So we made it to the town. Turns out this town's at 15,000 feet. We were hoping that this town was going to be less, and because we didn't want to stay at 16,000 feet, but now we're still at 15,000 feet. Didn't change. We went through complete darkness, riding in dirt roads and dodging trucks for like 2 hours. And we all survived, so that's the good part. The not so good part is we're still at above 15,000 feet, and there's nowhere to stay here. Yeah. Hopefully none of us get really sick from altitude.
The second we arrived, Guy took some Diamox, some elevation medication. Ferran didn't take any, but he definitely was suffering from some headache. He immediately went across the street and rented a room. We wanted to kind of talk to the locals first and try to figure it out, but he said he couldn't wait, so he went to rent his own room, and then he left. We talked to the locals. We rented this back room from this lady, and Guy's condition continued to worsen. We started having conversations with the lady about whether or not we need to borrow her car and drive over to the closest military installment and get some emergency oxygen. And we were still considering that because the condition was getting worse until around like 11 to midnight. Things turned better and everybody was able to get some good sleep. Meanwhile, I have no idea how Ferran is doing.